Okay, so I haven't actually touched Skyrim in quite a while. I haven't played it in about a year or so. I think I'm pretty much done with it at this point, even though there are still new mods adding more content. The basic stuff, quests and everything, NPC interaction and their incessant babbling, repeating the same things over and over again. There are only so many times that I can see and hear the same things. But there is a really cool mod that I want to show you named Skallagrim's Armoury, and it's on the Nexus, made by Garrus the Lone Wolf, and it's really cool. So he recreated several of our swords, my Caithness, the River Cleaver, Khopesh, Kara's Kobra, the Kriegsmesser, and the Lowlander. At first I tried to arrange all the swords on the floor, sorted by size to make it all look nice and neat. But then one of the guards decided to trample right through them, and so I had to end her. Not rightly, but bladely, I guess. Yes, I ended her bladely. So you just don't do that. You don't walk all over my stuff and expect to live. Unfortunately, all the mods I used in that save game are gone. I tried to reinstall a few of them, but it just didn't seem worth it because I'm not going to play it anyway. So yeah, the character looks a little weird. Alright, so here is the Caithness. As far as I can see, it's exactly the right size. Scale in games can be a little difficult to determine exactly, but this looks just right. All really precisely shaped, including the pommel that flips you the bird. So it's all there and really nicely done. Nicely, you might say. So you can see here all the details on the guard and pommel. It's all there. And that looks really good. There is also a two-handed version of the Caithness, which I personally find a little strange because I know how the Caithness handles, and I don't think that pommel would lend itself particularly well to a longsword, but it's always good to have options, right? Then we've got the Khopesh. This one is clearly oversized. In fact, kind of hilariously so. This is about 2 times as large as the one in real life. But considering that he didn't have the Khopesh in front of him, of course, just had the videos to go by, it's easy to get the scale a little wrong. But it still looks really nice because the shape is quite accurate. And this kind of sword you don't see that often in games. I mean, sickle swords do sometimes appear, but that's usually not bronze, and the texture is quite nice, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got the Kukri. This one is also larger than the real one. I'd say about 1.5 times, maybe more. I think the handle is also larger in relation to the blade than it is on the real one, but it still is quite accurately shaped overall, with one exception, but it's actually a good thing. There seems to be a false edge. If I look at that up there, seems to be sharpened towards the point, and personally I would very much like that. Actually, that would be quite a nice improvement. So can't complain about that. And the wood texture seems to be exactly right. That's the same kind of color and structure and everything. It looks really good. So, and again, also the details definitely caught. Then we've got the two-handed version of it, which is humongous. I wouldn't actually mind having a Kobra of that length. That would be pretty cool. Although I would like a longer handle for leverage. But this actually looks pretty cool. Can't say I don't like it. So, yeah, large. And this one would be pretty heavy going by how thick the Kobra is in real life. Then, what else do we have? Oh yeah, speaking of large, here is the Lowlander. And that seems to be the right size. The animation looks silly, but that's just a default Skyrim animation for two-handed swords. Unfortunately, the Dragonborn thinks using two-handed swords like a baseball bat is a good idea, but Anyway, so that can't be changed. And it still looks really nice. Like the shape is, again, spot on. It has the little acorn shapes on the guard, and the rings with the clover leaf in the center. And overall, it's just caught all the details. Looks really, really nice. You can even see the cross string wrap with the rivets in the center. So there's a lot of attention to detail. So this is as accurate as you can get as far as converting a real-life weapon into a game weapon is concerned. So I'm quite impressed by the work here. And then we've got... Oh wait, let's not skip the Kriegsmesser. Really important. This one also seems exactly the right size, and again, very accurate in terms of blade shape. And it also has a nail on the side where the guard is. Got the fuller, overall curvature. Everything is exactly as it is on mine. And this is a really cool sword to use in game, of course. So I very much like that. I mean, I like all of them, but of course, this one is one of my personal favorites. And yeah, again, very, very close to the real thing. Then the River Cleaver. So this one, he actually went for an orc design. And the texture, of course, the texture of the real thing is hard to get exactly right, but this is pretty close, and it makes sense to turn it into an orc-like weapon. So it's made with orichalcum, and yeah, it's really, it just captures the essence of it really well. I don't know why it's that slow, especially when used with one hand. I mean, it's kind of heavy, but wouldn't have to be quite that slow. There's also a two-handed version. But yeah, this one I think is actually a little smaller than the real one. But the two-handed version, I'm not sure. This might be a little larger. If I had to pick my favorite out of these, it would probably be the Messer. Although the Lowlander is really nice because it is so accurate. And I mean, all of them are. But what I mean is that the Lowlander has a lot of little details that if you recreate a weapon for a mod, you could just say, yeah, whatever, close enough. So he really put a lot of effort into it, and that's awesome. So thanks for putting all the time and effort into it, Garrus. This is really nice work, very much like it. And again, I'll leave the link down below for anybody who's playing Skyrim if you want to grab that and run around with those swords and, end some dragons and other things. So yeah, thanks for watching.